We're excited to introduce to you our next guest. He was born and raised right here in Georgia. He was mentored by the late, great Congressman John Lewis. Prior to his election, Senator Ossoff served as the CEO of Insight TWI, a media production company that investigates corruption, organized crime, and war crimes for international news organizations. On January 5th, 2021, y'all remember it, in a historic runoff election, Jon Ossoff made waves as he secured a remarkable victory that sent shockwaves through the political landscape. As the youngest Democratic senator in over 40 years, he has brought a fresh perspective to Washington, advocating for the needs of everyday Georgians and tirelessly working toward a more equitable and sustainable future. Since his election, Senator Ossoff has delivered upgrades to infrastructure, public health, public safety, and education for communities across the Peach State, building productive bipartisan relationships in the Senate to achieve results even in a divided Congress. Senator Ossoff is a dynamic leader whose vision for Georgia and our great nation is as bright as the future we are building together. Just last month, September 24, Senator Ossoff introduced the Fresh Food Act. It's a groundbreaking initiative aimed at ensuring access to healthy, fresh foods for all communities. And I'm sure all of us here in Upson County are well familiar with underserved communities when it comes to something as simple as groceries and fresh food. We have local parts of the county that, I mean, for instance, if you're out in Salem, how long does it take to get to the local Piggly Wiggly? It's about 20 minutes. Our senator has rural Georgians on his mind as he works to ensure all Georgians enjoy better access to grocery stores in their own community. Without further ado, let's give a big welcome to the state of Georgia's senior United States Senator, Senator Jon Ossoff.
Hey guys. Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All the way in the back?
But we know
you can hear me, young lady? You can hear me in the back, but we're not going back, right? Well, join me in, thank you so much. Join me, please, in expressing our gratitude to your County Democratic Chairman, Derek Kendrick. Derek, thank you for your leadership. Great to see you today. Thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you all so much for having me, Upson County. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here. It is lifting my spirits this morning to see you all gathered here, to feel your positivity, your energy, your determination, and your commitment to win. Thank you so much for the invitation. And there's even deeper gratitude that I want to express to you this morning. Because you might recall in late 2020 and early 2021, when we were fighting those two United States Senate runoff elections, and the whole world and the whole country and all the experts and the pollsters and the analysts told us there was no way that we could win. This county, this community, folks across rural Georgia stood up, you spoke out, you knocked on doors, you made phone calls, you wrote postcards, and you sent me and Raphael Warnock to the United States Senate to represent the state of Georgia. At that pivotal moment in American history, y'all remember what it was like? Early 2021, 5,000 Americans were dying per day from COVID-19. The unemployment rate was double digit. We were in the midst of a political crisis. The whole nation looked to Georgia. And the state of Georgia, all of us together. And it wasn't just Democrats. It was Democrats, independents, and Republicans. It was folks of every race, every background, every region of our state. You stood up and you elected to the United States Senate the young Jewish son of an immigrant and a black pastor who holds Dr. King's pulpit at Ebenezer Baptist Church. And if you have any doubt about the importance of elections, about the difference that is made when we make these decisions together about who represents us, just look at what's been achieved. Look at what's been achieved on behalf of our veterans. And by the way, I want to ask every veteran, every service member, every military spouse, please either stand or raise your hand so you can be honored by all of us. Thank you for your service. We passed into law the PACT Act. Have y'all heard of the PACT Act? This is to ensure that service members who are deployed in places where they're exposed to toxic chemicals can get the health care they need through the VA. You've probably heard about these burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan, where service members were inhaling toxic fumes. They developed cancers. They developed neurological diseases, and they had to fight tooth and nail, banging their head into the brick wall of the bureaucracy at the VA just to get the health care they'd earned through their service. Well, now service members deployed in those places, when they're veterans claiming their benefits, their disability or their disease is presumed to be service-connected, and they don't have to fight the VA anymore to get that health care. We got that done because of an election that we won in the state of Georgia. The bipartisan infrastructure law. It's upgrading roads and bridges and freight rail and passenger rail. It's getting lead pipes out of drinking water systems. It's expanding broadband internet to rural communities across Georgia. That only happened because of the outcome of that election in the state of Georgia. Elections have consequences. The decisions that we make about the character and the quality of the people who represent us, the values of our elected officials, matters. And it doesn't matter because of red versus blue. It doesn't matter because of all the daily controversy on cable news and social media. It matters because of the real human stakes, the real human consequences of our elections. No senior on Medicare in Georgia or anywhere in the United States can now be charged more than $35 a month for their insulin because of the outcome of an election. Georgia did that for seniors in Georgia and seniors across the country. It matters. And it matters right now. It matters right now with just weeks to go until a pivotal election in the history of the United States. Just weeks until our nation makes a fundamental decision about who we are and what our values are. And I don't need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the man. But former President Trump has demonstrated time and time again that he lacks the integrity, he lacks the moral fiber to occupy the highest office in the land. This is about character. This is about character. And in Vice President Harris, we have a determined, experienced, qualified leader with a proven track record, who with your help, Upson County, will be elected the next president of the United States. But it's not going to happen by itself. Just like Raphael and I were not elected just through hope and good wishes. We were elected through hard work. We were elected because so many Georgians across our state put in the effort, yes, to vote, but also to knock on doors and to make phone calls and to write postcards. So what I want to tell you all is I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're gathered. And just coming here today is not enough. I asked the county chairman on the way in, I said, can folks sign up at this event to help get out the vote for these short weeks to come? And he said, absolutely they can. And Mr. Chairman, where is the sign-up sheet, the table, the booth? Derek, where do folks sign up? to stay involved. Right over here. Right over here. Raise your hand if you've knocked on a neighbor's door or made a phone call to get out the vote so far in this election. That is a beautiful thing to see, and I also see some opportunity for growth. I see some room for us to deepen our commitment to our nation, to our state, to the values that unite us instead of dividing us. So Upson County, thank you so much for having me. I want you to know I'm out across the state of Georgia all day today, gathering with folks to help steel our resolve in these final few weeks to win. To win. To win. I want to thank the sheriff and all the law enforcement personnel who are here, all the public safety personnel who are here keeping us safe. Please give them a round of applause. You know, this has been a very, very difficult week for the state of Georgia and the whole southeast region. And as we speak, there are still hundreds of thousands of Georgians who lack power. Many of our fellow Georgians still don't have running water, clean water, as we rebuild from this storm. The spirit of service and compassion and positivity that we've seen from emergency management personnel, first responders, community members across the state over this last week has been truly inspiring. So too is your commitment to our democracy demonstrated by your presence here today. Thank you. So Upson County, are you ready to vote? Are you ready to work? Are you ready to win? Let's do it. Thank you so much for having me. Honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much.